sports listeners. I'm your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
This whole hour of Santa Barbara teen athletes. Woo! And we're talking all athletes. You have landed on Teen Sports Radio. In the house right now, we've got Alex Ramirez, Dr. Amy Salzman, Dominique Hackett, our producer Richard Dugan, a lot more are going to be joining us in the next 5-6 minutes. What I want to do is, Alex, I love what you're launching here. Talk about it. I love the whole, what did we call it? What did we end up calling it after?
We called it Walk With Me.
Walk with me. Talk to me. What is that about?
So, I mean, it's just all about promoting daily walking. Obviously, we know that it does so much for our body, getting outside and moving around, you know, from helping your sleep cycle to relieving stress to loosening up your hips and lower back. And of course, you know, you're moving and, you know, generating some movement also burns calories. So it's helpful to walk daily. So that's the whole point. Walk, send me a 5-second clip. I'll send you a 20-minute video. Body weight, core workout, all levels, super easy to do. And that was the gist of it, just kind of keeping it simple and basic, forcing people to get outside.
I think it's brilliant.
While we're on it, walking and being outside and moving your body is good for not only your body and your heart, but also your brain and changing your brain chemistry and getting some endorphins going. So, we'll just add that to the pluses.
You know what I like about it, especially since we have like the shutdown, because I could see it still affected people emotionally and conscientiously, and we still need to be raising money for our causes, right? So instead of being in a big group, which might, you know, if someone's coughing next to me and I was, you know, still traumatized from the whole thing, this is a great way for people to tag along individually, get maybe 15, 20 sponsors, do a walk, do the 5 miles, right? I think this is a great way to raise money for our kids. And you could do it individually and do the tag. And look, you got Alex Ramirez is going to send you a gift. I love it. So if any moms wanted to, walk with me. If any moms out there wanted to do a little fundraiser, I mean, this is the way to do it, I think, because I can't see right now 500 women wanting to get together, you know, and walking together. Not yet, or men or kids or whatever. I just think, and we still need to keep that charitable engine rolling, right? I think brilliant, Alex. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Dr.
I think the easiest thing, instead of trying to focus on a big group, is just find a walking buddy. Just keep it simple. Yeah. Someone to walk with, and you know, to play on that mental health part of it. Amy, is you know, doing it at lunchtime in the middle of your workday, so you get that mental break, and you come back to the second half of your job somewhat refreshed with a fresh perspective or a new perspective. You know, you're able to kind of calm down from the morning. So midday walks with a work buddy, easiest thing to do.
Nice, I love it. All right. And then and you still get, then you both, if they both sent a 5-second clip, that's for everybody, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, if they're together and there's 2 of them, sure, why not? The more the better.
Alex, you want to give your information where to send it?
The easiest thing is on social media, Instagram. You can find me at Alex Fit for Life 805, or you can find me on Facebook, and that's just straight up Fit for Life 805. No problems there. It's, you know, you type it in, you can find it on Instagram and Facebook pretty quick.
You know, I've got to say, it was really inspiring. I had a biomat on me. I was really snuggled. It was kind of in the afternoon. And then you're in my feed. So, you know, you were walking in the afternoon. Now, listen, I didn't get up and walk. Okay. But I was thinking about it. Okay. I was thinking about it. But I just, you know, it was raining out. Who walks in the rain? I didn't want to have the biomat on. I got new little snuggly socks. But for me to even think about doing it, that was motivation right there. So anyway, in-house, we've got all the kids lined up. Let's go right to Santa Barbara High School Dons. Romy Davies, talk to me.
Thank you, Erica, and hello, everyone. This is Romy Davies, Santa Barbara High School senior, reporting back from Santa Barbara, California, with this week's SB Dons Sports Recap. In track and field news, our team had 2 event champions at Saturday's Don Green Invitational Meet at Moore Park High. Annie Connect won the 800 meters in a personal best time and anchored the girls' 4x400 relay to third place and a season best time. Davis Flanagan won the boys' long jump at 21-2 and was second in the triple jump. The Dawn Greet Invite is held at the same facility that hosts the CIF Divisional Finals and Masters meet. In volleyball news, our boys team tied for 5th place in 32-team Best of the West Invitational Volleyball Tournament over the weekend at Poway High School after sweeping pool play Friday and going 1-2 in Saturday's draw. Starting off by beating Westview, Tesoro, and Servite, the boys continued the momentum Saturday, opening with a 25-18 and then 25-17 sweep of Lulana of Honolulu. Standout players for the tournament were Mikey Denver in the middle, opposite hitter Will Harmon, and Ford Harmon. In baseball news, the boys' baseball team, for the second game in a row, rallied in the 7th inning to beat Ventura in El Channel League rain makeup game on Saturday in Ventura. The boys are now 2-0 in league play and 4-4 overall. Zane Lee Pollock hit 2 doubles and drove in 3 runs to pace the boys' offense. Kai Malt went 3 for 4 and Dane Dawson reached base 3 times and stole 2 bases. Coach Steve Shuck mentioned that it was another gritty win for the boys. That's it for this week's Espion's Recap, and see you next time.
Thank you, Romy. All right, shooting northbound on the 101, Dos Pueblos High School Chargers. We've got Valeria in the house. Valeria.
Thanks, Erica. And hey, everyone, I'm Valeria Tiburcio Romo, back with this week's Charger Recap. Starting off with boys tennis. They played against Ventura this week, and their final score was 15-3, the Chargers taking the win. They went 9-0 in doubles and 6-3 in singles. Then girls beach volleyball played against Santa Ynez. The Chargers won the game with a final score of 4-0. All 4 doubles teams won 2 sets. Boys golf competed in the Spanish Hills Invitational. They had 2 teams of 3, and they both placed high in the competition. Team 1, that consisted of Teddy Viña, Scott Nightingale, and Denver Douglas, got 2nd place out of 26 teams. Moving on to boys volleyball, they had their first league game against Calabasas. The final score was 3-1, the Chargers taking the win. Junior Micah Goss made 13 kills and 5 aces, while senior Grant Hughes made 29 assists and 3 aces. Then going back to boys golf, they had their season opener against Oaks Christian. Unfortunately, they did not win as the final score was 405-363. Then girls volleyball played against Buena High School. The final score was 4-1, the Chargers taking the win. Boys volleyball also won their game against Ventura. The final score was 3-0. And finally, boys lacrosse. They played against Royal High School. The final score was 8-0, the Chargers taking the win. And that is it for this week's Charger Recap. I'm Valeria Tiburcio Romo, and I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, Valeria. Your uncle is not in the house yet, okay? Anthony Rodriguez, though, okay? He loves you. I mean, you know what they say, the apple don't fall far from the tree? Definitely. It's like it's in your whole DNA line. Let me tell you, I'm really proud of you. You've got a living in broadcasting if you want it. All right, we got another guy in the house. Cardinals, Bishop Diego High School, Sean Walters, another bright star. Sean, senior, talk to me.
Thank you so much, Erica. This is Bishop Diego High School senior Sean Walters signing on once again to give you the Bishop Diego High School Sports Recap. Starting this week's week recap off strong with girls basketball, the girls traveled about 5.5 hours all the way to Blythe last Tuesday and came back with a 53-40 win over Palo Verde High School in the first round of the state regional tournament. Unfortunately though, after this win, their impressive season came to an end 2 days later on Thursday in the state regional quarterfinals with a 1-point loss to South Hills. Lily Simlon had an impressive 12 points, and both Sienna Azua and Galilea de la Cruz had 11. Congrats once again on a great season, girls. In our boys volleyball world, the boys lost a tough 5-set match at home on Tuesday against Foothill Tech. Even though they lost, star senior Braylon Caters balled out with 22 kills. They bounced back on Thursday though with a big home win against Santa Ynez. Braylon Caters led the way once again with 12 kills, and stud freshman John Michael Flint added 5. Our Cardinals baseball team sadly lost 6-2 on the road against Cabrillo High School after a long break in games due to the weather. Senior Caden Groen had 1 RBI and scored 1 run. Pedro Nunegre had 1 RBI and Isaac Veal scored the remaining run. Great try though, guys. Well, everyone, that's all I've got for your Bishop Sports Recap. Thank you so much for listening, and please don't forget to tune in once again next week. This is Sean Walters signing off.
All right, Sean, thank you so much. All right, not to be outdone, we've got the dynamic duo Royal, San Marcos High School, Ambrose Partee and Sammy Schaefer.
Thanks, Erica. It's Sammy and Ambrose here with your weekly sports update.
Starting off with volleyball, our boys swept Valencia in their season opener, beating them 25-19, 25-16, and 25-8.
And last Tuesday, they played Oak Park, losing the first set 23-25 and winning the rest of the sets 25-17, 25-15, and 25-22.
The Royals were effective in the middle with senior Cal Foley and junior Landon Sheffy, who was making his first varsity start.
Mason Rice, a transfer from the Dons, played his first match with the Royals.
Coach Kuntz said, Mason's older brother and his dad played for us at San Marcos, and he has been a solid addition to our team. Great work, boys.
Now moving on to lacrosse, our girls beat Simi Valley 11-10 in a non-league game last Wednesday night.
Simi Valley came to Workington Stadium having outscored its opponents 43-1 in 2 wins.
The Royals were led by the Springer sisters, Casey and Jamie, who combined for 6 goals and 3 assists. Each sister scored 3 goals and Casey added 2 assists.
Now moving on to tennis, our boys beat rivals Santa Barbara 11-1 in a Channel League match last Tuesday at home.
The Royals won all 6 single sets played. Number 1 player Matthew Chung prevailed by scores of 6-1 and 6-0. Jed Greenwald and Carter Cottage each lost 3 games in their 2 wins.
In doubles, the senior team Charlie Friedman and Nathan Schaefer swept Santa Barbara's number 1 and 3 doubles without losing a single game. Great job, boys.
Now moving on to boys golf, the trio of Leo, Shams, and Jeffrey won the Spanish Hills Invitational, a 3-person golf team competition in Camarillo last Monday.
Even with the soggy course, Leo had the second lowest individual score with a 1 under par 70.
And Shams shot a 74 and Jeffrey shot an 80, giving the trio a team score of 224.
They won by 7 shots over Dos Pueblos.
That's what we have for you this week.
Back to you, Erica.
All right, thank you guys. Listen, we got a terrific show today. Stay tuned. I want to give a little bit of love to Eternity Ready Radio. They are putting us out there now every single day, 9 o'clock Central Time. Check them out. You'll love it. It's a beautiful Christian broadcasting. Also have Eternity Ready Radio TV as well. All right, thank you all. We'll be back with Hygga after these messages.
And this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hello, this is Dominique Hackett with Santa Barbara Wellness Center, and I love to have a Hygga moment. Hygga has to do with all those cozy, relaxing things that we do. It's kind of a lifestyle and a mindset where we allow in our life for a chance to relax and rejuvenate so we can do better with our studies, do better on our team sports and all the activities that we're involved in. And when I was looking for a Hygga story, I found a very interesting definition for Hygga, and I learned a new word. Some people describe Hygga as comfortable conviviality.
What is that word?
Conviviality. So
conviviality. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Christine Marie probably knows what conviviality means.
Conviviality. I think of it as a little more vivacious, right? With life. Conviviality.
Yeah. Alive. Conviviality has to do with the ability of us as individuals to interact creatively and autonomously. That means we're self-starting. when we interact with people in social environments and we create, we're like self-directed, but we're also social at the same time. So I like that. Creating hygge moments is creating comfortable conviviality. Well, anyway, a lot of times when you think about hygge, you think about candles burning. That's the quickest way to create a body sensation of what does hygge mean. You just imagine a room full of candles. And so I thought I'd share a little bit about candle science. There was actually a scientific paper delivered in 1860 by Michael Faraday on the science of burning candles. And what we learned when we look at what's happening with candles is that the wax is made up of hydrogen and carbon molecules. And so what's happening when we light the wick, the wax is literally becoming a liquid, and then it literally becomes a gas. And as it becomes a gas, it's releasing the hydrogen and carbon. You know what's emitted that I had no idea? So we have light and we have heat, but we also get water emitted because it's a mixture of oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. So water gets released and also CO2. So there's fascinating physical elements, and then there's things that we can't see that happen when we light a candle. And a lot of times when we're trying to encourage teens to, develop character and so forth, we talk about being the light, right? And so when we think of ourselves as being the light for something, we can know that there are things that people can see by what we say and what we do. And then there are unseen things where we're having an effect on people. So the other element about a candle, literally the light is relaxing to our body. So science has looked at candles. There's something very relaxing when our eyes are looking at the candle. A lot of times people will start meditation with a burning candle and just relaxing and looking at a candle. So I wanted to encourage teens, if you've had a really stressed out day and you have a safe environment where you can light a candle and just relax for a few minutes and just watch the flame, that is actually triggering a whole lot of body sensations that are going to help you de-stress. And so I really want to encourage safe candle viewing and encourage anytime we can look at the science of our life and then relate it to our development as people and character. It improves our studies at school and it improves our ability to interact with our fellow friends on our team sports.
I love that, Dee, because what I always want for Christmas from my kids, whatever, because, at a certain time, you're like, I have enough. I'm trying to give stuff away. But candles is my go-to as long as it's not vanilla. I have this vanilla thing. Christine knows that. Do not get me a vanilla candle. Not that I would be not so appreciative to it, but I have this thing about vanilla. Anyway, one of our co-hosts, as we all know, lost her son 2/22/22. So she just asked us all to burn a candle for her, to as far as part of the 1 year anniversary. Yeah, honoring of her day 1 year. And I remember doing it. It was like 11 o'clock at night. I wasn't really paying attention to the candle where I'd put it, and I had lit it all day. And I was up like at 11. Actually, it was 11:22 at night. And I was looking at it. It was the trippiest thing. I want to share this. It's like, okay, candle only goes this high, right? Maybe about 2-3 inches. And I was staring at it, and I was really, thinking about her, and I was getting sad and the whole thing. And I was really into it. And I swear on my kids, the candle flame was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, okay, I'm hallucinating right now. There's no way, right? So I actually get up and I go towards the can, and I'm like taking my finger through it because now it's like 6.5, 7 inches. I'm like, that just can't happen, because the wick is so tiny. I'm like, what is happening? And I'm like, I'm going to put water on my face or whatever. So I thought the whole thing was like really kind of trippy. But yes, candles, find whatever is your go-to thing. But candles is mine, and I love candles. I light them all the time, Dominique.
Well, they actually burned candle in space. NASA has, in 1990, studied burning candles in space. Do you know what happens to the flame in space?
I don't know.
It's very interesting.
It doesn't go up.
It creates a sphere. So cool. Instead of it being up and down, it burns in a circle. And the part of that is because the candle is hottest at the bottom and then it's coolest at the top. So you've got cool air going up. And so that's what creates the flame going up. So it has to do with being in the presence of gravity and the air molecules moving. But Dr. Amy, I don't know if you studied any of the science in regards to circles, but there's something really relaxing about not having sharp edges when you're trying to de-stress. When you're practicing mindful meditation with people, do you ever like talk about their environment and about how, round seems to be more relaxing?
Well, it's funny because I definitely haven't studied the science, but I am a person who personally likes, I don't think this is a proper term, but like round lines or round edges. So if I have a choice in choosing a chair or a couch or a frame or something, I tend to go for the round. And in terms of talking to people about their environment, I think each person can bring awareness to their environment and what they find comforting, pleasing, and soothing.
Nice. Well, Alex, and when you come back around and you're like a starfighter with me, like we could just like make these micro candles.
I burn candles all the time.
I love candles.
I love candles. Actually, I picked it up from my mom. My mom would always do it, and she would do it when she would clean. And she would light all the candles, and she would do it and it was almost like a therapeutic thing for her. She would put music on, get the candles going, open up the house, and just clean away and cook. And then the fragrance of it, the look, the fragrance, the smell. I mean, I don't know. It's just something about.
Do you like the vanilla, Alex? Do you like the vanilla ones?
No, I mean, I don't. Actually, my favorite smell tends to be like something like along the lines of like a lavender or eucalyptus. Yeah, not something like so sweet like vanilla.
I just have to say that I don't mean to interrupt you, Alex.
Okay.
Were you finished?
Yeah, I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay. I just have to say I just got a fabulous candle for my birthday that's specifically for my birthday. It's astrologically and even has scents for my birthday, February 3rd. And then, so this one is lavender, neroli, and I forget what the other one was, but
cinnamon.
Maybe we have to do your birthday and find out what it is, because there's a company out there that sends candles out with specific scents just for you based upon your birthday. It's kind of neat.
I want to get that link because I want to see. I bet you there's no vanilla in it.
I'm not in mine, but I bet you there are other. Oh, and yours, yeah. Who knows?
Can you imagine?
Do you not like vanilla ice cream?
Yeah.
Do you not like vanilla ice cream?
No.
Wow. Boy, I'm glad that we became friends after I gave up my vanilla lotion. I used to wear vanilla lotion all the time, and I always smelled like vanilla. Now I know we probably wouldn't be friends.
Yes, we would. From a distance.
So one of the fastest way to create a really relaxing environment, you want to shift from the stressful day, light a candle.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Hot stuff. Listen, we've got Alex Ramirez, Christine, Aunt Marie, and Dr. Amy Salzman. They're going to be sharing right after these messages.
Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me. Oh, 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 oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, yeah, yeah. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. So they say, dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh, oh. I never seen anybody do the things you do before. They say, move for me, move for me, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday,
9 a.m.
Hey guys, welcome to Teen Sports Radio. This is Alex with Fit for Life 805, and today being a very kind of random day, I just want to say really thank you to this panel, to Erica. She inspired me yesterday. She gave me a little push, and I was kind of in a weird phase where I was static with some ideas on how to gain traction and start to build back up again and build my clientele. And Erica reached out to me and she's like, you should do this, you should do that, make it happen. She didn't even, there wasn't an option. She's just like, make it happen, do it for yourself. And I did. And then all of a sudden now a flood of ideas came through. It was just like a door that opened. And I want to say thank you. Because it kind of got the ball rolling again. There's so many things on social media and it's like always the same stuff. And I don't like putting out that same kind of content. I like offering different things. So the walking challenge or the Wanna Walk with me was great. And I just want to say thank you, Erica. And I always look forward to these conversations on the show. So thank you.
Well, Alex, thank you. The thing is, I'm driving. I'm actually a passenger a lot of times in a car, and I'm sitting there, and something just hits me out of like left field. And I know you a long time. Yeah, I just know you so long that you wouldn't think that I'm barreling over you ever, because it could be a random, and that's exactly how it was. And I just had an idea, and I shot it out. If it sticks, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. So, but I so appreciate you and the value that you have been to both of my boys' life. And it is so hard when you're a single mom to find the right men that they can look up to. And John still talks about you. Okay.
Oh,
so
really?
yes, really.
Cool.
Finding the right mentors is really important.
That's
so when
cool.
you find those right people, my kids were like 7 and 10. And like one of the first kids to be with Superior Fitness and with you and Dustin Alaniano. And I was so thankful that, their dad is great. Okay. But, he's in San Diego. So like I had to figure stuff out. And I didn't do it in a micro way because I knew you, I felt it, the vibration, the love and everything that you have for kids. And it was a fit. So anything that I could do in your life, and that I feel, we're connected. That's all it is. That's all what this show is to connect. And that's what I want to teach. And that's what I want to teach the next generation. Dominique.
Just real quick, I was told when I was a teen to keep a little notebook and a pencil in my pocket all the time, because you always get these inspiration moments. And a little notebook and a pencil or a pen is even faster than an iPhone for jotting down those inspirations. So I just want to encourage teens, if you've never heard that practice, it's a great practice.
All right, listen, Alex has got to go. We've got a lot of shows. Stay here. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Well, now together we will stand, every boy, girl, woman, and a man. Together we'll stand, divided we'll fall. Come on now, people, let's get on the ball and work together. Come on, let's work together. Now, people, because together we will stand, every boy, every girl, and a man.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
Every single Tuesday.
9 a.m.
This is Christine Marie with a view from the deck. And I hear that Erica's got cards and she's going to pick some. So go for it, Erica.
You know what I want to do? I want to just go to Dr. Amy. And I want to say, Dr. Amy, I'm feeling that you want a card. And I got this deck of card right here. Okay, I'm going to roll them out so you can see. All right, where do you want me to pull one from? The beginning, the middle, or the end?
From your right.
My right, okay. How far in? A third, 20%? Give me a visual.
20% sounds good.
20%, that's about right here. Ready? Here we go. Boom. We pull the Knight of Wands.
The Knight of Wands. Oh, I can't see. Well, I don't need to see. I'm seeing my own Knight of Wands from my deck. That's the one I'm reading. I don't care what deck you're holding. The Knight of Wands is knights are mastering their elements. I call him the Prince of Wands. Actually, is mastering his element in order to become the King of Wands. So, in my deck, he's got a chariot that's being pulled by a lion, and it means that he's following his heart and he's moving forward with courage. And so it would, and the King of Wands is like your spiritual superpower, I call that. So it's like you're moving forward with courage in search of really what wands are fire and they're spirit, but it's actually spirit incarnating into the body. It's how we use our spirit and move it through our life in our bodies. And so the Prince of Wands, the Knight of Wands, is really integrating that and moving forward in a powerful way. That's what I would say. How does that feel? Does that resonate, Dr. Amy?
That sounds awesome.
That's right on, I think. Look at her light up like a candle. Are you lighting a candle?
This little light of mine.
I love it.
Nice. And wands are torches too, right? Which are candles, which is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, this is good. This is
so
really
part of the
good.
reason why we bring up tarot is that we encourage any kind of practice that encourages our intuitive mind to help us be in our body and be more authentic in the moment, in the now, in whatever it is that we're dealing with in life.
Yeah, right. And when I read tarot, I know a lot of people have a little discomfort with tarot because sometimes other people can use it for certain things, but I really use it for the mythology and the symbols and the archetypes. And these cards have been around for many, many years and have been used by many, many people. And they're even and in some cases it can be said that they're related to the Torah. Which is the Bible. So the Torah and the Tarot. So it's a very, it's ancient information that's been around for a long, long time. And just like anything else, I use it for good. I use everything in my life for good to bring more light and more candles.
And part of the reason why I do storytelling is because these archetypal stories are found in every culture and every people all throughout the world. I mean, that was part of what Joseph Campbell did all of his plays on, about how we have archetypal stories.
A hero with 1,000 faces. And what I think is very interesting about modern tarot decks is there are I have a Japanese tarot deck, a Native American tarot deck. I have ones from South America. I have one. People are always giving me tarot decks from all over. I have there's a biblical tarot. I think there's a tarot deck where, the tower shows Jesus breaking open a tower and releasing the people from slavery, right? So there's all these different types of decks that are so powerful, and the images, the stories, and I have different stories with every one of my cards that aren't the same stories that other people have with their cards. So it can be very personal, but it also can be very general. Right? Because they do apply to sometimes I can read some tarot cards and they'll say, well, this applies to everybody. And I'll say, yes, it does apply to everybody, but not everybody picked these cards in the way that you've picked them. And I don't tell this story with all these cards. This one's coming to me. I'm going to share it with you. Right? And it's very fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Listen, we've got a lot of show left, but we've got a lot of news stuff that we could go over, whatever. But there was one thing that I did find kind of fascinating. Alex had to leave, but we have Dr. Amy in the house. There was a survey just came out that 80% of our kids 18 to 24 couldn't even pass a military fitness test. So let's get to that and more right after these messages.
Brazil. Back in the USSR. Way down in LA. Every day dancing in the street. Crossing China too. Me and you dancing in the street.
We are back, and this is Santa Barbara Teen Sports Radio Show. I am your host, Erica, the Queen of Teen. Please tune in
every single Tuesday.
9 Sam.
Hello, this is Dr. Amy Saltzman, and you're back with Teen Sports Radio. You can find me at stillquietplace.com and spotaspider.com. And I was just going to pick up on what Erica said before the break about kids not passing their fitness tests in schools. And while we were on break, we were talking about a couple different things. So, first of all, I'm not sure that the old school type of fitness test is the ideal, most healthy way to be teaching our kids to exercise. And I think that we've learned a lot since those fitness tests were first implemented. So, I'd love people to be getting, and it's too bad Alex isn't here. Maybe he can talk about it next time, but getting some good cardio, getting some good core work, getting some strength and conditioning to strengthen your muscles and your bones, which also improves your balance, and some flexibility, and finding a way to do all those things with joy. I think that would be the ideal school workout. So when I'm queen for a day, that's how I'll do it. But, definitely having kids moving their bodies and moving their bodies with joy is optimal, because otherwise they'll do it because they have to in school, but it won't become a lifelong habit. And that's what we really want, is for them to develop the habits of moving their bodies and enjoying moving their bodies so that they do it throughout their lifespan.
I think, and I don't know, I haven't walked around, my kids are also 28 and 31, but I was always thinking, you look at their programs, wrestling, football. I mean, I've been into the new weight room at Bishop, and I just think you should expand on that. And then when you have your free periods, you have an option. You go to the library or you go work out. So you should make like a fitness center, put all the machines in there. Okay. And if kids wanted to take a break, they got their 15 minutes or whatever, and that super encourage them to do that. If you get in trouble, instead of going to weekend school, they have to put in as many hours instead of playing on the computer, whatever like that, and just push time. And if you don't want to do that, then walk around the track, right? We just got to make that part of education and to encourage it. So you have a place to go. And it would be good. Like Dominique and I always said, schools are there and they're lit up for safety and protection anyway. I mean, we need to have more things at the school. And I think that would help community as well. Dominique.
Well, I learned when I was becoming a health coach about the ecology of motion, and that you look at your life and you try to fit motion in. I think that's what Dr. Amy is focused on, is that it's not necessarily how many sit-ups or push-ups that you're doing, but that you are getting the walking in, getting the dancing in, getting, playing ping pong with your siblings and friends, or, any kind of motion thing. That's what's healthy for the body, is that you have joy and you're in motion. And I know Richard Ellsworth used to talk about, what kind of play did we do as kids? We were bouncing all over things, and they call it like primitive movement kind of things. That's really healthy for the body, as well as when you're running to do, what is it, Dr. Amy, where you run fast, interval, where you go really fast and then you rest, and then you go really fast and you rest. Those kind of trainings, it's fascinating what science is figuring out is healthy for our bodies.
Right. Well, and I would, if it was up to me, people would do some good solid cardio. Because again, when we were talking about it at the beginning with Alex about the walking, good for the body, good for the heart, good for the brain. Like, I'd like to see people do that as well. But it doesn't mean that you have to run a marathon.
So what is it? Is it like 10,000 steps a day, 20,000 steps? I mean, for an average, I would like to know the average high school person, forget athlete, just our teens, how many steps they getting a day. I think we'd be shocked.
Yeah, and I don't know, but I'd like to see a bare minimum of cardio with an elevated heart rate, because it does, as we were talking about before, it clears your brain, it gives you some endorphins, it's good for your heart. For kids with ADHD and attention issues, there's really good data to say that exercise is beneficial for your focus. So,
well, it's something else I learned when I was a teen. I would do this before a test. It's cross, where your left hand touches your right foot, and then you
cross hemisphere.
Yes.
Cross hemisphere.
And so I would do a couple of those cross hemispheres, even if it was something super simple at my desk. And I always felt like it did better on my exams.
I like that. I don't know. I guess I need to research exactly what's going on in schools. If the kids are still tested, are they just using the resource of extracurricular sports after school as the filler? But what about because not 100% participate in sports. So what about the remainder of the kids that for economic reasons don't have money for a gym? It would be nice if schools could offer those services so those kids can get that activity in there while they're going to school, because as Dr. Amy, and I think we all agree that I think it's good for the mind, and it would help them learn. I think it's good for learning, right? Keeping physical and keeping active is good for learning.
So we have physical activity. There's also music. Music is really important for how we're able to learn, and it's so interesting with all the team sports that I played. If we played really hyper fun, good beat music before a game or before a meet or something, we all did better.
I went, for those who know, I graduated from Westmont, and I can't speak what other schools do, but when I went to Long Beach State first, then in Westmont, one thing I'll always treasure about Westmont is every single class that I took at Westmont, there was always the beginning, the introduction to the class was either meditation, a song, a spiritual song that we sang, depending upon whatever the teacher was into. But it was always that it was a kickstart to the lecture or the class. And it really helped me, because you're running from class to class. I mean, you're not centered, and it was not that long. It was like maybe 10 minutes max, where everybody got to get grounded, get centered, and then we began. And I always really appreciated that. And if I was ever a teacher, we got a couple of minutes left, I would really do that with my students. And it's not making you pray. It's in
you can switch it up, right? You can do a meditation one day and singing one day, and like an active game the next day. And you can, once the kids get into it too, then you can let the kids lead.
Right.
And that gives them ownership, and it really expands what's offered. I mean, as long as you give some parameters for appropriateness.
And I would say integrating the body is a really important part of learning. Some people are physical learners. And as a Waldorf teacher, we were trained to integrate those things. When they're teaching math, they might be playing throwing games, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, different kinds of things like that were always integrated, and that the body, the beginning of a lot of classes was moving the body, and maybe even saying poems or singing songs. Or, I did that as a kindergarten teacher. I was integrating things all the time. We were in our bodies, but the whole point in kindergarten was for children to get in big home we're always going to have during this lifetime, right? It's this body.
I love it.
Beautiful. Excellent. All right. Dr. Amy, how can we get a hold of you? Christine, how do we get a hold of you?
So I'll go first, stillquietplace.com and spotaspider.com for me.
You can just call me 805-350-2705. I start websites and then I don't finish them. And you can also find me on Facebook. I have a view from the deck on Facebook, and also Christine Tandega Marie, but just find me on a view from the deck. That's good.
And you also do Hotel California on the full moon?
On the full moon, yes. So I believe it's going to be Tuesday. Oh, it's going to be it's tonight, Tuesday, March 7th. I am going to be there tonight at the full moon reading. And so come on in. You can come by the Hotel California down on Lower State Street. I'm also at Paradise Found bookstore the third Sunday of every month here in Santa Barbara. And love both of those venues. They're really a joy to be at.
Do you have to call and make an appointment, Christine, or do you just walk in?
With Paradise Found, it's good to call and make an appointment, but you can just walk in. And then Hotel California, it's totally walk in. Come in early. I'm there from 5 to 7:30. Come in around 5 and we can get a good reading in.
And she rocks, so do it. Santa Barbara, just keep smiles on your face this week. That's all I could do. And stay dry. All right. God bless you all. See you next week.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a pusher with no brakes. I'm invincible. The